It's going to be a little rough. Well, hey everybody. We are taking our first attempt at a live video for the church on the church YouTube channel, and so if this is just a little bit rough around the edges, that's okay. We want to get some information out, and bear with us as we try to do that. So I wanted to come in here. Jason's been very helpful in getting all of this set up, but we want to use YouTube as a platform for regular updates, and in addition to the Sunday sermons, regular updates and any changes that are coming. And so this is kind of a test run of that, but we do have some actual updates we want to give in terms especially of what does our church life look like moving forward for a while. So I have a few things I'm going to share, and just the first thing, I just want to begin. Just let me read Sunday's text. This is upcoming Sunday's text. I'm going to be preaching Psalm 61. This upcoming Sunday is stepping out of Exodus just for this week. Just wanted to do a timely sermon regarding everything that's been going on. I think Psalm 61 is going to serve us in that way. It's a short psalm. It's 8 verses. It reads like this: "Hear my cry, O God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I, for you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Let me dwell in your tent forever. Let me take refuge under the shelter of your wings. For you, O God, have heard my vows. You have given me the heritage of those who fear your name. Prolong the life of the king. May his years endure to all generations. May he be enthroned forever before God. Appoint steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over him. So will I ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day after day." Those are the words of Psalm 61. Thanks for tuning in. And here's a couple things I want to encourage you with before I give a couple updates. This is a great time, this time of self-distancing and isolation. This is a great time to take a fresh look, I think, at our devotional lives. I'm assuming that a lot of us, if not all of us, we have our schedules have shifted. We have time now that we didn't have before. And so I just want to tell you what I'm doing, and not that you need to do what I'm doing, but hopefully it encourages you to take a fresh look at your devotional life. In addition to just reading the Bible, which there's no substitute for that, I've picked up this old book. Actually, Jesse picked this up for me ages ago, and I didn't even crack it open until recently. But this is Morning and Evening by Charles Spurgeon, and he created a year-long devotional, and so like this is the entrance, for example, for May 14th, and this page is for the morning, this page is for the evening, and this is rich stuff. But I've noticed even just in this last week that my devotions have been richer, I think because of everything going on. So what a wonderful time we have to meet God. And so use helpful resources to do that. I think Amazon is still running, so you can still order. You can still order things. The Valley of Vision is another excellent resource I would recommend for personal devotions. And as always, reach out with any questions or if you need any recommendations. So here's a few updates I want to give you. First of all, just go ahead and state the obvious. You'll notice that we're online. I'm here on YouTube right now. Here's something just to be aware of. We're going to be online for a little bit. This is generally where you will get updates. This is generally where you will see me. We may have other people on here giving updates for now. For now, it's me, at least until we get things figured out. So we're going to be online for a while. Specifically, we're primarily going to be on YouTube for a while. The best thing you can do, and I'll explain why, the best thing you can do is stay in touch. Pay attention to what we're doing. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. On YouTube, subscribe to our channel. Get on YouTube, search for Emmaus Road Church. You'll see us pop up. Subscribe to our channel and like our videos. You can click a little like button, like our videos, and here's why. The more you like us and subscribe and all of that, the more you like us, the more YouTube likes us. And the more YouTube likes us, the more that they're willing to put us out there for people to see. Now, if that was just strictly a human-to-human relationship, I would call it highly dysfunctional. Like us more so that YouTube will like us. But in this case, I think it's appropriate. And we want to put what we're saying out there. Let me just tell you why. People are staying home. People are sitting on couches with their laptops open a lot right now. And so churches who are going to online platforms are going to be more visible. They're going to be highly visible. And this is one way we can care for our city and people around us and anyone who finds us online. We want them to hear the hope we have in Jesus. We want them to hear the glorious gospel. We want them to desire to be with the people of God. And so we're going to be a big fan of promoting our stuff online. So subscribe to our stuff, like our stuff. That's the first thing. I can't plug that enough. Ask questions. Now you can ask questions, and again, we're getting the bugs worked out this first time. Ask questions of us on the YouTube video. I think there's a live chat feature. I'm not sure if that's up and running right now. If it's not, then we can work on that. You can usually comment on videos as well. I don't know if that's up and running right now. Comments are on. So if you hear anything said in this video or you have a general question, comment on the video. We won't answer it in real time, but I will look to that question and find a way to answer it later, either in a new video or contacting you directly. But ask questions. And let me just say this, two things about being online. One is we live in an amazing age where we can actually do this. We can all be, it's just a cough. I just had something in my throat, nobody panic. We can all be in the privacy of our own homes and tune in and hear a sermon preached in real time. That's amazing. That technology is amazing, and we're so grateful for it during this really unique time in which we're living. We're grateful for it. But secondly, I just want to affirm to you that this online presence is no substitute for the people of God meeting in person. It's just not. And so while we're going to be wise and we're going to be online for a while, I just want to be the first to say that I am eager for the days, again, in the future, when we can be together. I am eager to shake hands. I'm eager to greet you in person. I'm eager to pray with you in person. And so I want that to build in you as well. And during this time where we're more isolated, build your anticipation for when the church can gather again. Build your appreciation for the in-person gatherings of the saints, because those days are coming again. I'm not assigning a timeline, but I trust that they're coming again, and we want to look forward to that eagerly. What we don't want to do is get comfortable with the online platform and say, hey, this is nice. I can just sit home, tune into a sermon. I'm part of the church, right? It's like, look, we're doing this temporarily while we have to. But I'm telling you, as soon as we are able to meet in person again, we will. We will. So let's appreciate this while it lasts. We may continue, even once we're meeting in person again, we will probably continue to maintain live streaming, having videos of the sermon and all of that, but never as a primary source of nourishment and fellowship. It'll always be secondary. We want to gather with the saints in person. So we are greatly looking forward to the day when we can be together again. And this is why, we had talked about pre-recording the sermons and then posting them. We're going to do the sermons live because even though it's no substitute for being together, there is something about the event of the sermon. There's something about hearing the Word of God in real time as people are tuning in. So we're not going to pre-record those sermons. We are going to do them live on Sunday. And people have been asking this question, when? Are we going to be in the mornings now that we have the option to be? No, we're going to stick with 3:30 p.m. Because that's what our people are largely used to for a church gathering time. And we figure that a lot of people, a lot of churches will be streaming in the morning. We'll let them do that, and we will stream in the afternoon. Again, if that means that the gospel can be preached at a part of the day, the afternoon, when it normally isn't, for people online to find it, then yes, absolutely. So 3:30 p.m. on Sunday is when our sermons will go live. So be sure, and we'll send out links, and we'll make sure that you stay in touch with that. So that's generally what the Sunday gatherings are going to look like. They're going to be like this. They're going to be short. What you're going to see, at least to start, is me up here. I will give a general call to worship. I will lead us in prayer. I will give any announcements that I need to on the front end. I don't think we'll take a 5-minute break or anything like that. And then I will preach a sermon. Again, we want that to be somewhat interactive, and by that I mean you can comment on the sermons, you can leave comments, ask questions. If any of the and I don't expect this of really any of our people, but if inappropriate or aggressive or passive aggressive or if there's comments that are left publicly on Facebook in response to the sermon, that I just want to make you aware of that. We're going to have some control over that, and we want it to be an edifying experience for everybody. So we may, at some point in the future, incorporate music into the actual event of the gathering. We're still navigating that. We have permission to play public domain songs live. We also have permission to play Sovereign Grace songs live. Bob Coughlin generously gave free rein to anybody, even without a streaming license, which is a thing. Even without a streaming license, he said, I give you permission to do Sovereign Grace songs during a live stream. So we may incorporate music in the future. For now, though, be on the lookout. We will be sending out probably a Spotify playlist of 4 to 5 songs that we're going to encourage you to listen to throughout the week, meditate on throughout the week, and hopefully those songs will help prepare you for the event of the Sunday sermon. So we'll be sending that out too. I want to make sure I covered all my bases for the Sunday gathering. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. But for now, we'll plan on Sunday at 3:30. Please plan on tuning in as a household, as an individual. If you feel comfortable having 1 to 2 other people in your home, as long as no one's sick and everyone's clean and all that, by all means, feel free to gather in small groups to listen to the sermon and discuss it together. That would be great. So that's the first part. What I wanted to tell you is what Sunday gathering is going to look like. The second part is pastoral care. What does pastoral care look like during this time of isolation as the coronavirus is navigated? I'm still working, just FYI. I have quite a bit to do, actually. In fact, helping get this set up, communications, talking with leaders within Sovereign Grace. All of these things have actually taken up a huge amount of my time. So yes, I'm still working, meaning I'm still accessible as much as I can be. I'll still be preparing sermon. I'm still doing work through Westminster Theological Seminary. Even though we can't meet in person, at least not on any kind of regular basis now, I want to be accessible. I talked to David yesterday. David wants to be accessible to you as your elders, so call us. If you want to talk, if you need to talk, call us, text us. If you need that information, if you need to know how to get in touch with us, just ask somebody. Probably won't put all our information out here online right now, except for hi@ercbozeman.com. I will see those emails, but talk to us, use us. We can have conversations, we can answer questions about general questions as far as we have knowledge to answer them. We can talk about what church life is going to look like. We will pray with you, either over the phone or on Facebook video chat. Zoom has a free service, a free version where we can meet on Zoom. That's face-to-face. It's like Skype. We can do that. We can do counseling over video chat. We can do biblical counseling over the phone. We can do these things. And so I understand it's a weird time. I understand it's unique, but we want to do what we can with what we've got. And so again, we thank God for this grace of technology that allows us to do these things. But reach out, really. You have our absolute full encouragement and permission to do that. So that's what I wanted to tell you about pastoral care, is that David and I are still up and running as much as we are able to be. And then the last little bit here is body care, what I call body care. And I don't mean wash your hands. You already know that. What I mean is the church body. Let me read you this passage. This is from Galatians 6. This is verse 10. It says this: "So then, as we have opportunity, let us do good to everyone, and especially those who are of the household of faith." As we consider what life looks together as a church body moving forward for a while, I just really want to encourage you, if you have the slightest inclination, to check in on someone, to send them a text of encouraging them, to pray for them, to find a time to have a conversation with them. If you have the slightest inclination to do those things, do them. This is the time to do them. You don't need permission to reach out to your brothers and sisters in the church and to find out how you can be an encouragement to them, just to bounce ideas off of them, to hear them, to pray for them. This is a great time to get better about that as a church. It just is. Look in on each other. So if you're part of a community group, check in on your community group. You can check in on others as well, but this is part of what we look to community groups for. Check in on your people. If you're part of a discipleship group, check in on your people. If you are not a part of a discipleship group or a community group, guess what? We will grandfather you in right now. If you reach out to us and say, I could really, if you're a man, for example, and you reach out and say, I could really use a few men who I can just have to check in with regularly during this time, we will find a group for you to be in. If you need that assistance to join a group very specifically, we will help you do that. We will make it happen. Same with a community group. Now's a great time to bring people into those groups, even if we're not meeting as entire groups in person. It's a great time. Don't be left alone. There's no reason to be left alone and to not have someone to talk to and to pray with. We are in the process. We're thinking through how we might do this. We have a couple ideas how we can create an online platform for like a prayer request, a private group. We don't want to open to the entire world or public, but how can we have a private group, a private page that's specifically for sharing prayer requests and praying for one another? We're in the process of looking at that and getting that up and running. And so as you have prayer requests, we want you to be able to voice those to your brothers and sisters at Emmaus Road Church. And it's one thing. It's good to say yes, we'll pray for that. Yes, we'll pray for that. But I would encourage you to take it a step further. Let's find a time to get on Facebook Messenger or Zoom or whatever. Let's pray together. And I realize that you're not in person, but just the benefit. We want to do as much as we can. Even the benefit of just seeing each other's faces and praying together face to face, even if virtually. We just love that idea. So we want to use this time to pray together. So stand by for that. We're going to create that platform to pray together. And the last thing I'll mention, it's kind of in the same category. The church does, still have expenses. Just want to point that out. I know that can be something that slips out of our mind. We still do have expenses as a church. We still are going to look to the people of our church to be giving in some capacity. And I just want to, now's a great time to give online. Go to ercbozeman.com. There's a give online option up in the bar on the top. It's a great time to set that up. Again, we do have expenses. We may see a dip in things. We're prepared for that. So we're not here to twist anybody's arm, but it's just to simply remind you of the biblical impetus that we should be looking to the church to support the gospel ministry here. But online is the best way to do that. The other way you can do it, if you want to be old school, and this is cool, you can do this. You can mail a check to the church. That's fine. It'll come here. It'll come to the mailbox. And again, our address here, our mailing address is 324 North 5th Avenue, Bozeman 59715. And you can mail a check to the church. I'll probably drop in here once a week or so to actually check our mailbox. So you can mail a check if you'd rather not give online. But giving online is probably the best and most convenient option for everybody right now. So we ask you to continue that healthy discipline. And the last thing is just this: people are going to fall on hard times. So, some to a degree. I'm not casting doom. I'm just being realistic about everything we're hearing and reading. We're going to face some challenges. You might face some financial challenges, some work challenges, things like that. So I want to encourage you this way. If things get hard, and they may for some of us, they may get difficult to navigate. If things get hard, rather than just skip town and drive 2 states away to move back in with mom and dad, which maybe that becomes the best option for you. Before you leave town, would you talk to someone? Let the church know. Let me and David know the hard times you're facing. Let us know what's going on. Let us know how we can serve you. In other words, we'd hate for people to leave not realizing that there may have been help available to them here and now. And so before you plan on packing up and leaving town or making a drastic change, reach out to your church body and see what kind of service or what kind of help might be available to you. Okay. That is the update I have for today. So we may do more midweek videos moving forward in the future. I've even considered, would it be worth it to do just a brief daily 5-minute devotional or something like that. But I'd want your feedback on that. Is that something that would serve you? Is this a platform that would be good for that? So stay in touch with us. Now's the time to talk. So thanks so much for tuning in. Unless you hear otherwise, the next time that you'll see us is 3:30 p.m. on Sunday, when you should have your Bible in your lap, your coffee in hand. Yes, it's okay to drink coffee in the afternoon. Opened to Psalm 61 to hear from God's Word and what He might have to say to us in this time of crisis. So brothers and sisters, love you so much. Stay rooted in the Word. Be people of prayer, and we'll check in with you again soon. Thanks.